abantu abadala bayahlonishwa. Sicela ke umfowethu Ngizwe sondela abe namazwi awabekayo.
Ubani umholi? Ubani umholi? Ubani umholi? Sihole. 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 Ubani umholi? Ubani umholi? Ubani umholi? Sihole. Imbabazana namahaqa ngohaqa amadoda abasendeni. Isihlonelo lesikhalele amabhunu emadlemeni kwaze kwasabethi intitho ofozana namhlanje basathintitha. Siyakhuleka kubantwana basendlonkulu. Sikhuleke emndenini wakwaphindangene. Ngithi umndeni wakwaButhelezi ubhlungu obukhulu buziwa umndeni ngaphezulu kwabantu bonke ngoba umndeni ophila nenkinga usuyibonile uphinde usale nayo sifike sibabaze siduduze kodwa iwona bazosho ukuthi umkhulu noma ukhokho ubelala kulombhede ubehlala kulosofa. Ngithi ke muzwa kaButhelezi duduzekani ngawo yonke indlela uNkulunkulu anganithoba ngayo amanxeba kodwa ngesizulu sakithi ngokomdali amazwi ayishona uyena uMntwana wakwaphindangene wayekubeka ethi uma usudlula eminyakeni ethize usuke usuphila kuyibonasi. uNkulunkulu akambonasanga yena umphinde kabili uMntwana wakwaphindangene ugodukile. Sikhalela ke into eyodwa yokuthi sengathi imiso abeyimela abeyithunyiwe emhlabeni uNkulunkulu angazingela akhomba abanye abangakwazi ukuthi bayimele ngoba baningi esibaziye emlandweni noma bengavelelanga njengoMntwana wakwaphindangene ababa wondunankulu kwaZulu kodwa ekusungulweni kubukhosi bakwaZulu angikholwa ukuthi ukhona uyofana naye. Inkosi yaphathwa uDlongubane Wakwaphindangene wavuma ukuphathwa. Silo sakwadla amahlahla lapha akhulela khona uMntwana waphinde waqala uhambo lwakhe lobundunankulu wavuma ukuphathwa. Ukuphathwa ikona okwenza ukuthi inkosi nesizwe siqine. Ngaphandle kobukhosi bethu njengamaZulu bubukhulu kangaka eAfrika benziwe uMntwana wakwaphindangene asilutho ngaphandle kwapho singabulokothi sibicandizela ngenyawo. Phekwa lokho uMntwana wakwaphindangene emveni kokwashembe 1910 umuntu wesibili ofikile wafike wasosibambela ubuzulu bethu ukuthi bungaphunyuka ube uMntwana wakwaphindangene ngeqembu lenkatha yenkulu kwesizwe. Lokho asisoze sakulibala sathi masiphaphama thina saphaphamela enkatheni inkathi iphethe kwaZulu Natal ngo1994 saphaphama ngentuthuko safunda esikoleni ngabasiko ngenxa yenkatha sahamba emgwaqeni sahlala funde ema-university yonke indawo akhiwe uMntwana wakwaphindangene ngisho obaba basebenza emafemini kwaSithebe aziwe uMntwana wakwaphindangene. Ngithi laluphumule mnandi ngamuntu imisebenzi yakho ibonakele njengopresident wamabhinqa. Ngibikile ukuthi besingakhuleka ukuthi amabhasi aphuma enkalo zonke kakhulukazi eGoli. Ngishilo ukuthi uPanyaza lwala kwaLusufi akeziqiniseko sokuthi amahostel onke aphuma onke insizwa zonke zize la. Uma efuna ukuthula akalethe zonke insizwa zewuke zizofihla uMntwana wakwaphindangene. Mayazi into ayimele. Phinde futhi ukhawundi utshebe emhlophe loya. Luba kunencwadi yakhe nje ethi special engizombhalelayo. Kodwa kubalekile ukuthi akhiphe wonke amahostel eThekwini esiqiniseko sokuthi beza la. Hayi ngokwepolitiki ngobuzulu nangobuqotho bokuthi kuguqe insika engaphekwe insika zonke selokhu sazalwa. Sihloniphe ngolesihlanu kuzoba iholiday akho umuntu ozosebenza. Njoba kukhona imeya nje la ngiyacela ukuthi zonke imeya seziqiniseke ukuthi avalwa ama-office. Akho umuntu ozosebenza ngolesihlanu. Siguqe sihloniphe ukuthi liguqubele kwaZulu. Angihambe ngedwa bahlonishwa sengiphetha ngihamba nomfowethu omele uMaskandi umthandeni iGcokama elisha. Angikwazi ingqole yakithi ikhona phakathi kwethu ngingayinikeza ithuba ngemvumo yenu baholi eke ibhonga Emswaneni imele insizwa engiziqhathayo engingqole yazo. Ngiyathokoza kakhulu baholi ngihloniphe nabaholi noma ngabeli benkatha bakhona babuhlabisa ngiyathobeka kakhulu phambi kwakho Mphemba ngiyathobeka kakhulu ngithi umlayezo omunye baba Shenge Swalisa mfundisi wami ngiyacela bumbanani manihlulo ukubumbana nihambe kwilegesi loMntwana niyonqoba
Amandla amandla ubani umholi sizwe sikaphunga namageba ngizoba mfishane ngizocela ukubingelela bonke ubuholi obukhona ngokuhlukahlukana kwezihlalo zabo obaba nobhuti nodadewethu sanibona negameni lenkosi yethu Jesu Kristu lo khulumayo umthandeni igcokama elisha umshuve enkani kwaba nenkani indlaba ephika amabati sebesula amadevana ngidabuka lapha nje emdletsheni ngaphansi kwenkosi umdletshe angizukwanda kakhulu mina egameni labaculi bakaMaskandi ngizothi nje okwenza ukuthi sivele sikhathalele iqembu lenkatha siphinde sikhathalele nobaba uMntwana sakhile imizi yobaba eyayingelutho isinkwa sisibekile etafuleni sihlawulile emzini yabantu sizoganwa futhi ziwushaye sitohoza khona lapha enkatheni thina akukulapha sitohoza khona siyathemba ukuthi ubaba uyohamba ngokuthula endleleni yakhe ngoba yakhiwe imizi yobaba ekakhula sewuMaskandi kuyaziwa ukuthi sisebhede noma siqashwe ngamanye amaqembu sithi iyanthanda inkatha siyabonga
sithokoza kakhulu Gcokama sithokoza kakhulu Macingwane
programs for us this morning. I don't know, I just feel like I would like to rattle all the names that were put here, but I hope it's adequate to say the friends and colleagues and people who really loved our father who are here. I really would like to greet you all, and I hope I'm not undermining anybody by that. It is very difficult that in life there are things that you just have to do. If I had a choice, I wouldn't be standing here because it's very difficult. But on behalf of my siblings, my sister has just come here, and my other sibling who is not here. We were 8 children, and 3 of us are left. I think that just symbolizes and that shows you the pain that our parents have gone through. We always used to say, if pain killed, we would have died long ago, especially our parents. But then when you look at all that they've gone through, I think it was that pain of losing some of us on the one hand, but I think in particular from my father, it was really then a very difficult life that he led, because his life had very difficult dimensions. But then I always say to him, but that you chose that life. Politics is contact sport, and it's a turbulent area, and you wanted to. And I don't think you would take him away from a good fight. Somebody described my father and said, you can never challenge my father. And you said to me, no one can challenge your father on an eyeball to eyeball, who will blink first, because you might as well start blinking before you look into his eyes. My father was that sort of person, not in an arrogant way, because he taught us that it's very important to be proud, but not arrogant, because there's a major difference. I think if it was not for him and our mother, Princess Irene, I don't think friends of my father who are here would have managed, because his life being so difficult transferred to our lives also being very difficult. I remember when I was at University of Zululand, and my sister also at the school there, but when I was there myself in particular, it was so difficult, because you won't believe that there would be times when I attend meetings, student body meetings, where they were actually planning, like when there was, you remember my father was a chancellor at the university. They were planning how difficult they were going to make his visit each time. he came there. Well, I was at school with at the university with the likes of Penwell Maduna, Nobleman Kumalo, and guys like that. So it was a turbulent area. But as we at that time we didn't understand why our lives were so difficult, because we were not in politics. He was. But then these things, of course, have ripple effect. But then in navigating all these difficult situations, I think he had a very major role to play in order of conveying to us that maybe we should just try to replicate his life in terms of how he navigated the difficulties. Because there were times he said he thought his life was more about pain than joy because of politics. But anyway, I think today is just really to paint a very brief perspective with you, having expressed our really, I don't know, our very deep appreciation. I mean, if one looks at this room and all the delegations that have been coming here, you look at all these diaries, and we know that you have very hectic lives, but you put them down or put a comma and came here to be with us. You are really an incredible warm blanket for us. And I think also if you see a mixed room like this, it again defines my father, because he was a reconciler. He really was someone who was a reconciler. He was someone who had really a lot of patience. I think that's one of the characters we learned from him: patience, courage, resilience. At times I used to tell to him that I used to say to him, I think you are a masochist, because at times it would see me really enjoyed pain. I said to him one time, you know, I learned so much from you, but not so much from what you sit down and tell me, but from just observing you. Because you know, they say you can beat up a child and shout, but the child looks at what you do. They don't listen to what you say. So really, to us, it's very important, because most of you know my father at play. I can tell you he was an amazing man as my father, at work, as my father at play. He was, to us as children, he was really unbelievable. Because I think at any given time, I've been saying this all the time, because I think it's important that from our perspective as a leader, you are here today because you got to know him as a leader and what he meant and signified to you. But to us as his children, it's important to share more that part than the one of the leader in the political, on the political arena. To say that really from this side, we had someone at home here who laughed a lot, who had an incredible sense of humor. I think anyone here can remember, if as an anecdotal one, of my father and his, especially in Parliament. You know, he always looked forward to going to Parliament. I think right across, even the journalists, they used to tease him and say he enjoyed having a journalist for breakfast anytime. So he was really a person who had so many facets in his life, but then really to see so many people coming here, we are really overwhelmed, but we are overwhelmed by love. So really, if there was any inconvenience, I suppose you also expected when you see so many people, but that things can't be smooth, because, you know, a death in the family is chaotic. So somehow one must just live with it. It then triggers chaos, especially when there are so many people. There's never been so many people at our home. But the one thing which is a very big consolation to us is that, you know, even if we had somehow not understood what our father was about, you just look at the love and all the warmth that you've extended, because we are extending this not to us, we are actually showing us what he meant to you. Our father always said to me, I don't care for any legacy but Mangosuthu Buthelezi. If my legacy does not reflect the difference I made in people's lives, don't tell me about my legacy. So I just think that the only message we can give as a family is really to say, we don't have any words. Really, thank you is enough that you took your time. We never ever forget or take for granted that we are all here, because we are all very important people. But touching on important, I just remember that one of my father's things he believed in very much was a very simple statement, where he used to say, you know, it is not important to be important. So it's just one of those catchy phrases he used to like. And another one I remember was the one about integrity. And that we used to enjoy a lot, myself and himself, where he used to say, you know, if we have integrity, nothing much else matters. But if you don't have integrity, nothing matters. Which means with integrity, you can get away with this, but if you don't have it, forget it. So really, in those few words, I just want to say, I don't have the words, but I hope I managed to express on behalf of our father and the family, because we will never make a mistake and think that all this is about us. This is about him. And then as I end, when you see the mix here of different people from different backgrounds, even political parties, when they are together, it really gives me, and I'm sure our family, to say this is what our father was about. To really to say, look, let's put everything aside and just go and celebrate the life of this man, or what he meant to each and every one of us. I said to the IFP when we were talking here, I was responding on behalf of the family, which I'm extending to you. But I said to Bulawayo here and the RFP, I said, you know, somebody's life is extended. A person only lives forever because of the legacy. You cannot edit the legacy because it's the life you've lived. So, and then I said, you know, in all that he has tried to do, I think that the best thing you can do, Bulawayo, is to make sure that you fly his flag high in terms of standing, perpetuating what he stood for. And I said, you know, them, the IFP, really, and all of us who believed in him, you can either perpetuate or destroy his legacy. That is what I thought is a message I give to all of you. And I just don't have enough on behalf of our family. The love that you've showed us, we don't even know how to express ourselves to say thank you. So really thank you from the depth of our hearts. Siyabonga, you have really made us warm in this very, very cold winter we're in. May God bless you all.